Okay, imagine this for a second. You're a daily wage laborer. You're just, filing your income tax like you're supposed to, doing everything right.
Just a normal routine thing.
Exactly. And then, completely out of the blue, you find out you're somehow the owner of a company.
Not just any company, right?
No, a company tangled up in a massive 18 crore rupee tax scam.
Wow. That's almost unbelievable.
It really is. So today, we're taking a deep dive into this truly startling case that's come out of Rajasthan in India.
And it's more than just one person's shocking story, isn't it?
Absolutely. It shines a pretty harsh spotlight on some deeply concerning sort of systemic problems within our digital identity systems, things we rely on every day.
Right. So our mission today really is to trace how this happened, to follow the steps of this, frankly, elaborate identity theft.
We need to figure out how such a massive fraud could even occur.
Exactly. And maybe most importantly, unpack what this means for digital security more broadly, for the verification systems we all trust.
Okay, so let's start with the person at the center of it all. Veerdharam.
Yeah, the daily wage laborer from Balotra in Rajasthan's Churu district.
His whole ordeal started with something incredibly mundane, just filing his income tax return.
For the 2024-25 financial year, right? With a chartered accountant. Standard procedure.
Completely standard.
Yeah.
But then during that process, what he finds out is just astonishing.
Okay, so what was it? What did the accountant tell him?
He was told about these huge financial transactions. We're talking like over 18 crore rupees.
18 crore, that's immense.
Immense. And all processed through a firm based in Delhi called Virdha Traders.
Virdha Traders, okay.
And here's the kicker, the really shocking part. This firm, Virdha Traders, was registered entirely under his identity.
Under Veerdharam's identity.
Yes, complete with its own unique GST identification number. That's the GSTI.
Even though he had absolutely nothing to do with it, didn't even know it existed.
Not a clue. No involvement whatsoever.
Wow. I mean, from a security perspective, that immediately throws up massive red flags.
Right. How is that even possible?
Exactly. How can someone completely unaware end up as the official face of a company involved in, transactions of that scale?
It suggests some serious breaches.
Oh, profound breaches. Fundamental failures in the digital trust system. It really makes you question the checks and balances, doesn't it?
It really does.
Yeah.
So, okay, let's try and unpack that. How did the scammers actually manage it? How did they pull this off?
Well, looking at the details, the firm itself, Virdha Traders, it was officially registered back on January 22, 2025.
Okay, so relatively recently before you found out. And the address.
Listed as House Num 810, ground floor, Northwest Delhi.
And what was it supposed to be doing, this firm?
Its listed business was dealing in copper scrap, copper rods, also copper products, and polythene.
So not exactly a small-time thing. Sounds like it was set up for significant volumes.
Precisely. And the core vulnerability, it seems, was the misuse of Veerdharam's own identity documents.
His PAN card, his Aadhaar card.
Yep, the PAN card, the Aadhaar card, which is, India's big biometric ID system, and crucially, his mobile number, too.
Okay, so they had the key ingredients. But how did they use them? Especially the Aadhaar part.
This is where it gets really, really concerning. The records show that the Aadhaar authentication for registering this company, it was marked as successful on July 10th, 2025.
Successful? But he didn't do it.
Exactly. That strongly suggests the scammer somehow got access to his one-time passwords, the OTPs, that were likely sent to his mobile.
Without him knowing. How?
That's the critical question, isn't it? It's an alarming breach of mobile security, something we rely on constantly. Did they swap his SIM? Was there malware? We don't know yet.
But it raises that chilling thought. How easily can our digital keys, like OTPs, actually be stolen?
Precisely. Especially when they unlock access to our identity and, potentially massive financial liabilities like setting up a company.
And the scale here is just huge. We said over 18 crore rupees in transactions?
Yeah, and that directly led to evading over 3 crore rupees in GST dues.
That's serious money lost to the government, lost to the system, not just a small fraud.
Absolutely not. And when you see numbers like that, it really hammers home how these digital cracks can be exploited for major criminal gain.
So this isn't just about Veerdharam, as awful as his situation is.
No, it's much bigger. It's a huge warning sign about the potential weaknesses in the identity verification systems we use for almost everything now.
Are we maybe rushing towards digital convenience without making the security truly watertight?
That's a fair question, I think. The fact that a successful Aadhaar authentication could happen without the actual person's consent or knowledge, that points to a major flaw.
Right. It's hard to square that circle. We're told these systems are secure.
We are. So was it a super sophisticated hack? A weakness in how OTPs are handled? Maybe even an inside job somewhere along the line?
Authorities must be digging into that specifically.
Oh, absolutely. That's the core of the investigation now. A successful authentication without the user. That undermines the whole premise of that security layer. It calls the integrity of that digital handshake into question.
So faced with this nightmare, what did Veerdharam do?
Well, thankfully, he acted quickly. On July 24th, he went and lodged a formal complaint with the Gita police station back in Balotra.
Okay, getting it on record officially.
Yes, and that kicked off an investigation involving the state GST officers. It didn't just stay local either. No, the issue was escalated up to GST officials in Delhi. He also, very proactively, contacted the Central Board of Excise and Customs, the CBEC.
Making sure the central authorities knew.
Exactly. He specifically informed Additional Commissioner Manish Kumar Jha at the Delhi GST office. So it was definitely on their radar.
And are things happening now? Any immediate actions?
Yes, thankfully. One immediate measure was the cancellation of that fraudulent GST registration for Virdha Traders.
So that specific firm is shut down at least?
It is. But the damage, in a sense, is done. This case has really exposed some alarming vulnerabilities, particularly in how Aadhaar and PAN are used for registrations.
So the investigation is ongoing, trying to find the perpetrators.
Definitely. Authorities are actively probing how those OTPs and documents were compromised without his consent. And of course, they're trying to track down who was actually behind setting up this fake firm.
And what are experts saying? Is this just a one-off freak incident?
Unfortunately, the consensus seems to be no. Experts are warning that this probably isn't isolated.
Really?
Yeah, they suspect that as agencies dig deeper into these widespread GST evasion rackets and identity theft trends in general across India, we might uncover more of these fake firm setups.
So it could be part of a much larger pattern of organized crime.
That seems to be the concern, yes. Exploiting these digital identity systems on a larger scale.
Wow. Okay, so let's just recap the key points from this deep dive then. We started with a daily wage laborer, Veerdharam, just filing his taxes.
A simple, everyday act.
Which somehow snowballed into him discovering he was linked to an 18 crore rupee scam.
It's a powerful illustration, isn't it, of just how sophisticated digital fraud has become.
And it highlights this urgent, undeniable need to really strengthen our digital identity verification systems. We can't just assume they're foolproof.
Absolutely. And it leaves us, and maybe you listening, with a really critical question, I think. Given how disturbingly easy it seems for digital identity to be compromised like this.
In such an elaborate and financially devastating way.
What concrete steps can you actually take to better protect your own digital footprint? Your PAN, your Aadhaar, your mobile security?
And maybe even bigger than that. What fundamental changes do we need in the systems themselves to prevent these kinds of elaborate schemes from happening again?
That's the challenge, isn't it? How do we balance convenience with truly robust security moving forward?